Hello, welcome. This is CareerForce and More for Employers, Session 3. So glad to have all of you on the call today. CareerForce and More for Employers is intended to give you information to help you use the CareerForceMN.com, CareerForce in-person sites, and MinnesotaWorks.net more fully. Today, we're going to be talking about all of the directories and the resources and the people and the information that we have on our website for employers, for HR, for recruiters that help you connect to the relationships to help your pipelines and fill those openings more quickly. CareerForce is Minnesota's network of private, public, and nonprofit partners committed to helping both job seekers and employers make that match, all so that we help Minnesota thrive economically by continuing to build its world-class workforce. I'm Liz Jennings. My title is Employer Engagement Specialized. I help both employers like yourself, I help staff, and I help nonprofits make that connection. And today I'm joined by Tom Reese, longtime CareerForce workforce system employee who's going to share with us some tips about using our system more fully. So today's topics, we're going to go through using CareerForce staff as a single point of contact for you, and then let us be your hub and spokes. Working with community partners such as workforce development boards, dislocated worker providers, nonprofits who also serve job seekers, and then go through some of our regional teams and our employer services specialists throughout the state. And then talk a little bit more about relationship recruitment, building your brand in the community through social media, through community involvement, and then touching a little bit more on finding, hiring, and networking events. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Tom Reese, and I'm going to navigate through our webpage while Tom talks about all of these topics. So hello, Tom.
Thank you, Liz, and good morning, everyone. Appreciate y'all being with us this morning. Liz and I are your single point of contact in connecting with our resources. And today I'd like to talk about how that might happen for you. Liz is going to assist me by navigating our website as we talk about particular topics this morning. Always invite anyone attending to please put your questions in the chat or comments. And afterwards, if you're requesting us to follow up with you, we're happy to do so. So, as Liz mentioned, I've been working in the employment and training field for a very long time. I've watched a lot of trends over the years come and go, some good, and some not so good. And so obviously we focus on the opportunities for you to connect in a more positive way with hidden talent. And so as recruiters, you can probably appreciate the fact that most job seekers are not necessarily as visible as you would like them to be. So the key in recruiting is to try to connect with that talent in addition to job boards and opportunities to post your job like on MinnesotaWorks.net. It's also about what we're calling relationship recruitment. So to begin with this morning, I'd like to talk about some points that have already been discovered and discussed in past sessions. One of which is, most of you probably are aware of this, but our current unemployment rate in the state of Minnesota is 2.7%. Tim O'Neill, our labor market information analyst for the metro area, shared that with us in a past session. What that means to recruiters like yourselves and to people like myself and Liz is that job seekers or potential applicants are going to be much more selective now because, quite honestly, they have more opportunities. So it is a challenge for you, and I certainly don't have to tell you this because you're living it, a challenge to be able to connect with the candidates out there, get them to consider opportunities within your organization and so forth. When you're considering how to get connected to some of our programs, a great place to start with that process is to connect with what are referred to as workforce boards. Liz is going to pull up the regional, the workforce boards within your part of the state. And the suggestion there is to simply reach out to your local board, workforce development board, connect ideally with the chairperson, and introduce yourself as an employer who is interested in being part of the system. And the way to do that is to attend a workforce development board. These are typically public invited sessions, so you're welcome to attend, and to kind of find out what is going on in these boards. What are they discussing? What kinds of programs do they represent so that you become familiar with your local community? So that would be one suggestion I would make for you, realizing that it takes time, your time, away from other duties, but I think it's time well invested. So would encourage you to consider doing that. The second topic that I wanted to discuss is that of what we're calling regional teams. And the regional teams are going to be these groups of providers in your local community. Once again, in suggesting that what relationship recruitment is getting to know who your local providers are and how you can connect with them and work with them to be able to make that labor market, that labor exchange happen. The connection between these providers and the positions that you may be looking to recruit for. So as Liz has been kind enough to pull up on the website here, we're looking at the regional teams. So depending on which part of the state you are recruiting for, you would then go to that particular regional team. And I'm going to have Liz jump in here and describe for you what you're currently looking at.
Yeah, so I clicked on Northeast region. Say some of you are in the Arrowhead area of our state. First, what you see are the counties that we consider the Northeast region. Then labor market and some economic statistics for their news. We have a blog and a newsroom, so when any topic is linked to that region, those are there, so you can kind of stay abreast of some of the workforce news. And then on the right-hand side is really the most valuable. It's the contact information for the deed employees in employer services that specialize in the Northeast region and their overlap of their topic. So Shayla Drake, our workforce strategy consultant, can help you with a business consultation. Say you're expanding, maybe you're working with the business development team. And the business development team is Bradley Brzezinski. And so maybe you and Bradley have been working together and maybe a site expansion or, something like that. Well, then contact Shayla to say, how can we really make the most of that expansion in the area? Layoff, if unfortunately you're going through a downturn, you think you need to lay off, or maybe you want to explore some layoff aversion techniques, shared work, other things like that. Contact Marla Beatty, and she'll help you. And all of these people, it's no cost to you or your business, free of charge. Tim Trumbull can help you connect to veterans employment. And then if you want more detailed labor market information, wage statistics, contact Carson Goretsky. And in each of these pages, no matter where you're at, Metro, Southwest, Southeast, there's a list of people like that. So back to you.
Thank you, Liz. Allison did put in the question, how did you get to that regional section of CareerForceMN.com?
Yeah, it's listed. Well, there's a couple of different ways. Go to For Employers, Even More Resources, and then it's the first pull down either on the right-hand side, Meet Your Regional Team. You see it right there in the lower right. Or it's under Even More Resources, Meet Your Regional Team, right after Post a Job. Or you can always use the search engine and meet your regional team. Thanks for the question.
Allison says, perfect, thank you. So good job, Liz. Okay, so moving on then, thank you for that. And what the next step here is to talk a little bit about connecting with CareerForce locations. We have offices throughout the state. We also have what we call CareerForce Corner, which would be housed at local libraries. But the idea is that we have physical locations where employers like yourselves can connect directly with service providers and staff. And I'm encouraging all of you to connect with your local CareerForce office and discuss who are the local providers within your area. Ideally, and I can name some of the programs for you, and there are many others, but for example, when you reach out to them and they say, well, what kind of programs? We're talking about, for example, the Dislocated Worker Program, Veterans Services, Vocational Rehabilitation, Adult Basic Ed, education, which is operated through school districts. And it goes on and on from there, and I can name some more, but the idea is to reach out and ask them to provide that information, including who are the coordinators, who are the supervisors, who are the managers, so that you can then connect directly with that provider and encourage them to meet and greet you, and better yet, to be able to have you talk to them about your hiring needs. Once that relationship is developed, and this is coming from a former counselor, which I did many years ago, if I had relationships with employers like yourselves, I would absolutely welcome that, because I could then reach out to you and say, I'm sitting here with a candidate in my office right now, I think would be a great fit. Would you be interested in talking with them? That's a direct labor exchange kind of activity, and everybody wins in a situation like that, I think. So I would encourage that. And once again, a reminder, feel free to put your questions in the chat, and Liz and I will keep an eye on that and try to field your questions as we go.
So just to explain the
yes, Liz.
navigation, Find a CareerForce location is at the top of every single page. It also is hyperlinked in a number of other places. Click on that. It gets you to find a location near you. You type in your city, wherever you're at. In this case, I chose Jordan, Minnesota, 30 miles, apply. And then it lists in order of closest to farthest for every single one. So in this case, Chaska CareerForce location, located in the Carver County uh, building is the closest to Jordan. Click on either Learn More or CareerForce in Chaska. They both link to the same page. Gives your address, a map, their hours, and some of the activities that happen there. Go ahead and just email them or telephone them. Alternatively, you can always contact the CareerForce Information Assistance Line or Tom and me, and we can connect you as well.
I appreciate that, Liz. And I think contacting the office and having those conversations can be very helpful. The getting Liz to navigate some more here. We also are very happy to provide you with a calendar of events that is going to list activities through these centers and maybe other providers within the community that we're aware of. So when Liz and I are talking to employers like yourselves, many times we're being asked, I'd like to attend a job fair. I'd like to attend virtually or in person. When do these take place? And what if there's a cost, what is that going to be? And how do I get involved so that I can get in front of people that are interested in talking with me? That calendar will provide information for you so that you can then consider being part of those events. And so, and including whether you might be doing an event as well. Some employers will reach out to us and want us to ask to provide information to our customer base, which are job seekers, activities and events that they're hosting. So once again, another great way to connect. So thank you, Liz, for pulling that up.
Right, yeah. The career fair submission form, again, no cost. So if you are holding a hiring event in your location, please make use of it. I just put the URL in there. It's linked from a couple of different spots. But you can also just go to careerforcemn.com/job fairs.
It's great. Sort of a logical progression with this presentation is to next topic would be to talk about what we call hiring events and job fairs. Many times when we're consulting with employers, employers are interested in, once again, how do we connect with potential talent? One thing that we've organized, and I just want to take a couple minutes to talk about it, is what we're calling Explore Careers events. It typically will start with a particular sector in our economy. Let's say, for example, it's healthcare. We will host or help host an event where the first hour would be contrived or put together of employers on a panel that would be fielding questions from participants. So it's not directly having applicants come to you and ask about applying for jobs. It's more about learning what your company is like. What's the culture like? What is your branding message? How did you progress through the organization is always a very intriguing and interesting question for employers to respond to. But the key thing here that I'd like to bring up this morning is it gives you and potential applicants an opportunity to start to develop a chemistry or a rapport. It's low stress, it's low impact so that people become comfortable with getting to know who you are and hopefully you getting to know them as well. So the first hour would be a panel presentation hosted by someone locally that could then engage in these conversations. and it also includes participants to be able to ask questions as well. The second hour then would appear to be more like a job fair, but people are much more comfortable because now they know at least some of the employers that are participating. So I would encourage you to think about taking part in events like that, along with, of course, job fairs that we are still involved with offering as well. I would suggest that if you're looking to be more effective at job fairs, engaging in conversation, including having what I would call an informational discussion with a potential applicant, excuse me, once again, reduces that stress between, particularly from the job seeker side. So encouraging you to take a look at those kind of events. So in summary, I am, excuse me, I am encouraging all of you to think about and participate in ways where you can connect with people like Liz and I and some of the regional strategy people and employer navigators and CareerForce staff, all of which are there to assist you with connecting with talent and helping you achieve those hiring needs. You can tell by looking at me that I'm old school enough to appreciate and value personal contact with people. And so any chance you can do that, I would absolutely encourage. That's still a very positive way for you to be able to recruit. So with that said, feel free to send those questions to us. And I'm going to turn it back over to Liz. And if you have questions, feel free to ask away.
Yeah, and I'm going to point out a couple of more directories that we have. If you scroll to the footer of every page, you see Meet Our Partners. Partners are the nonprofits that receive either federal, state, or local funding to provide additional job seeker services, support for folks. So once again, you add in your location. So let's say you're in Duluth, click apply. And then you can see some of the other nonprofits that serve the Duluth region. Feel free to reach out to them again, like the other directory. Click on it. It gives you the map, their contact information, some of the stuff that they offer, and then give them a call. You know, often many of these organizations have employer engagement teams like ourselves, or their job counselors all juggle both finding work for their job seekers. So have that whole person package. So in any case, the Meet Your Partners the Meet Your Partners link on the bottom is really useful. And the other thing related to that, under online tools, is the training program finder. And again, these are training programs that are run by our partner organizations. They receive Workforce Innovation and Opportunity, ACT funding, or other types of funding so that they can offer these programs to qualified individuals at no cost to the individual. So again, you enter the location, and then take a look, you know, maybe it fits with the kind of work that you are hiring for. So for instance, this office administration programming starts May 20th, and they are preparing people for working in health insurance, a medical clinic, or hospital. So in Brooklyn Center area, if that kind of fits your niche in your area, reach out to them. Maybe you can provide training services, mock interviews, your information, help hire people after they're done with the program. One question coming in the chat is, do you provide any tools for employers in terms of pay rates for various positions, such as benchmarking data? Yes, that information is really, well, it's the labor market information team. They provide that. For really the robust tools, I encourage you to navigate over to the Dean site, and that's mn.gov/deed/data. And after you go to that, I suppose my computer's gonna, there we go. They have all of the information there, but it's also linked to the regional analysts in your area through that Meet Your Regional Team link that I helped show you just a few minutes ago. So if you are a data whiz and you want to dig the data yourself, go to Deed's page, go to the data center, and then find the occupational employment statistics wage tool that's on there. Or if you want to have help navigating that, go to the Even More Resources, Meet Your Regional Team, find your region. Let's say you're in the Southeast. Scroll down and then contact Amanda O'Connell, who's the regional labor market analyst for the Southeast region, or reach out to the person, whoever is in your region. And then that person can help you get the wage statistics for your industry, for your county, and get it for you. So those are a few of the other contact tools that we have on CareerForce that helps you get connected to more people that can find additional layers of job seekers. Tom, anything else that you can think of?
I would like to just mention, and it's sort of a thought from the LMI data question. Experience has told me that it's about flexibility when recruiting, understanding that sometimes as an employer you might not be able to pay what you'd like to be able to pay. Then it might be an idea or strategy to talk about what are some of the other benefits, if you will, for working for your organization. We find that flexibility for applicants is a really key element in this labor market. So if you can demonstrate and explain how there is flexibility within scheduling or within training options or career pathways, that's going to entice those applicants to consider you that much more. So I just wanted to add that to the LMI discussion.
Yeah, definitely. And I linked to our job quality page. We've provided information on what we consider mile markers on the road to good jobs. So we have a page devoted to resources, some information on how labor market tools can help you measure how you're doing on that path to a good job, and then a flyer too that you can use to review how your company is doing on the road to providing stability, family sustaining wages, and inclusion. So thank you. We're at time. We are towards the end here. And I just want to get to our contact page. Sorry, I'm flipping through all of this. But you can contact Tom or me anytime, or contact CareerForce at state.mn.us, and they can help connect you to any of these resources. So glad to have you on the call today. I hope you found this useful, and come back next week for session 4. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.